Right, guys, welcome back to another episode of Crossing Swords. As always, I'm Andrew.
And I'm New Year, New Me.
Absolutely. I just want to say quickly, just before we started recording, one of our longest term listeners is in the country. He's normally not. He's Japan Jack, as he's known.
That's
Japanese
the nickname.
Jack.
That's the Japanese Jack fits better than Japan
Jack's
Jack.
better, innit? I just made it up on the spot.
Jack
do you know what I
Japan.
mean? But I just wanted to do a quick shout out. He's looking forward to the next episode. He's been with you today. So,
Yeah, I love Jack. It was really nice seeing him catching up.
So I just wanted to do a quick shout out
Definitely
to one of our...
Definitely hope because he might be back more often, so hopefully there'll be more opportunities to catch up, which would be nice.
Yeah, and I think he could potentially, that'd be a great person to
Get on.
because I've never met him, but he likes every single post.
You
we
could
put
meet
up.
him.
I
can make that happen. I've got connections.
You've got connections
make
to
that-
Japanese Jack, who, by the way, I just want to throw out there, isn't actually Japanese.
No, not at all.
But yeah, anyway, it's nice to be back.
Yeah, no, honestly, great to be back.
Yeah, how was your Christmas and New Year period?
Yeah, it was all right. It's a bit busy, but at the same
That's
time,
the
it's
thing.
definitely that thing where it's like, you don't know what day it is. A week feels like a month.
Yeah.
You know, how was yours?
It went by too quickly, to be honest. Like before, I was so sad. Like I don't know what it is. I tend to get like post-Christmas blues. Like once Christmas days,
Yeah. Well, you get really into it as well.
I feel really depressed afterwards. I'm just like, oh, this is awful. But once that's gone,
You're back on the up.
I'm back on the up. So yeah, and look, you have to try and face the new year positively, don't you? Even
Yeah.
when there's not much to be positive about.
You know what? You just kind of like. It's always good to have like you know how it's like always good to have a trip in the books or holiday or something
yeah.
just to look forward to.
Yeah.
It's kind of like nice to have things that you can kind of work towards. So
Yeah.
I don't know, like it's progress in life is never one directional. It's back and it's forward and it's up and it's down. But
Yeah.
I was thinking that overall, if you can look back on at least one area of your life
Yeah.
and say it's better this year than it was the year before,
Yeah.
then I think you're doing well.
Yeah, I think for me this year, turning 35, like I feel like I'm
You look
genuinely
25.
That's not true.
I think
Like,
you actually do.
I
To
really
be
don't.
fair, and from here,
No, like when I see myself in the mirror now, like my hair is getting so grey.
and that may be the case, but I think because of the headphones and the light,
It's not as
the hair doesn't look that grey,
Yeah.
and you've got good
but
skin.
I'm
You've
getting
not got the
more and more
wrinkles.
white hairs in my beard. And the thing is, I never thought I'd be bothered by any of it, and I'm bothered by all of it.
Can I refer you to what I said when it happened to me?
Yeah.
I'm more than happy to age gracefully, but that was on the condition that I age much later in life.
The thing is, I feel like now is appropriate for me to be aging. I just don't.
But you're not
like
ready.
it. And I'm not ready for
You're
it.
not ready.
So I just feel like this year I need to, and I hate doing this to myself. I hate like putting on pressure and even in like involving other people with it. But just like I feel like I have to make some quite big changes this year. So yeah.
Is that just like reducing the harem to like a manageable 10?
To be honest, the harem's down to 1 already. Like that's
Wow.
You know, I'm 1 and done.
Wow.
Do you know what I mean? Like I've found myself a good woman.
Lucky man and or woman.
It's
Is
a lady.
it Leanne?
Yeah, it's Leanne. Yeah,
you
yeah.
consider her to be, you'd call her, classify her as being in your harem.
She is.
It just feels quite derogatory.
She runs the harem.
Feels a bit degrading. She runs a
harem
harem
of one.
of 0. If she's in charge,
Yeah.
she's got 0
Basically,
people.
what happened was I met her and she was like, "No more harem."
No pun intended. She's got 0 people beneath her,
Yeah. Other than me.
other than you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nice, my man. Nice.
Well, do you know what? Sex is great.
It's good, isn't it? It's nice that someone will let you.
Yeah,
Do you know what I mean?
it's the
Like,
famous line from "I Just Had Sex," which is like, "It's nice she even wanted me to do it."
100%.
It doesn't even make sense, but man, screw it.
And like, never have I more resonated with the song.
Yeah.
You know, it's true.
And like
Do you know what? Yeah,
have
she
we
kept-
ever said this on the pod?
She
Like,
kept looking at her watch. She put a bag on my... It doesn't matter.
I just had sex.
Still good. It still counts. Still counts.
I don't even know if we've ever said this publicly, but me, you, and Ash had a tradition because there was a number of lean years for the 3 of us, wasn't there?
Where if we did...
We agreed we would send each other "I just had sex," and that was the signal of the back signal went up that I just had sex.
Pretty on the nose. There's nothing to decode, is there?
But I love that all 3 of us, when we had those situations, our star partners.
You
that
didn't
we
need
were
the
with-
Enigma machine
No.
to crack that one.
No. While you're like literally, you've just exited the lady and you turn over. Let me pull up YouTube.
I didn't even wait till I was out.
Oh, you were
I was
still-
just still in.
You were in the afterglow. You know, she's like, "Why are you reaching for your phone? Are you taking a photo?" No.
No, I'm like this.
This isn't about you.
I've just sort of flopped down on top of him.
Steph's a lucky woman, by the way.
She is so lucky. She is so lucky.
Oh, it's like poor women is all I say.
Let me tell you, when I
mean?
say I give it to that girl rightly, I'm talking missionary. Missionary.
talking
The one where I'm
missionary.
on top and she's on bottom.
That is genuinely one of the best films in cinema history.
Yeah,
in my opinion. Or that scene is one of the best scenes.
Just that whole film, I think, was just so actually well done.
And it was perfectly timed.
It played just the right amount of homage to the original.
Yeah.
Also, one of my favourite, like, I don't think now films in general, but it's a comedy thing. You wouldn't have it in, like, you wouldn't get to the end of Sophie's Choice and have this, just to be clear. But I don't think films do enough with credits.
Okay.
Like, I love bloopers.
Yeah.
Like Rush Hour. For sure.
One
of my favourite lines from any Rush Hour film is from the blooper in Rush Hour 2 when he falls out the window and Chris Tucker just stands on the edge. He's like, damn, he ain't going to be in Rush Hour 3. Like, one of my all-time favourites. Even Toy Story used to do, like Toy Story 2 did the bloopers.
Oh, did it?
With the, you know, like Woody messing up his lines or Stinky Pete.
Yeah.
It was just iconic.
Oh, stuck in the box.
Yeah. All that stuff. And like credits. What fucking film were we just talking about?
21 Jump Street.
21 Jump Street. Right, so 22 Jump Street, the second one.
My name's Jeff.
All right, Jeff. Where the credits where they're just like, you two are going to art school. You're going to medical school. And they just did the whole thing.
Culinary school.
You're going foreign exchange student.
Yeah,
that just whole sequence was just...
Well, when it takes the piss out of what
sequels
Hollywood
are.
Does. Yeah.
Like,
it nailed it.
It nailed it.
They knew it would have been shit if they'd have done a third, because the second one's not as good as
and it was
the
like,
first,
how do you do a sequel without doing a sequel? Like, we don't want to do a sequel and ruin it,
Yeah.
but how do we hint it and make fun of it? We do the millions, and it's like, do you know the one where Jonah Hill gets replaced and then comes back and he's like, what contract dispute? Like, it's so good.
Yeah.
No. I think films don't do enough with sequels. I just think there should be more bloopers, more fun, stuff like that. Like, do fake sequels and stuff.
I'm on board. Look, I'm up for it. I like it.
Maybe I should go to Hollywood.
Look, I think you should. By the way, we're slacking because Ryan Coogler, he's like 38 now. Like, he was 28 when he made his first film. I think when he made Black Panther, he was like 32. Do you know what I mean? Like, he's
yeah. Well, there's still time. There's still time. I can still crack it.
The dream's still there.
I can still crack it.
Yeah. That's fair.
And I might.
Yeah.
I've got so many ideas. I'm an ideas man.
I know you are.
That's where I...
Yeah. That's where you thrive. You're a peacock.
It's, you know what I listened to? I saw an interview or read an interview with... what's the bastard's name? You know, the horror director, the Hispanic... Guillermo del Toro.
Okay, yeah.
And he says he doesn't take notes from studios or anything like that.
I saw this. I know what you're going to say.
He has an inner circle of trusted director friends.
It's like 12 directors or something, isn't it?
And then whatever notes they give him, and they all have this deal to be as brutal as possible. Yeah, and so apparently he said there was a sequence in... What's his latest
Frankenstein.
one? Was it Frankenstein? He said where James Cameron was like, you need to cut this sequence.
Yeah.
He was like, it's 10 minutes. He's like, it's a beautiful sequence, but it runs too long. And then I saw someone respond and said, the audacity of James Cameron to tell anyone a film runs too long.
Because it's funny, me and Leanne went to see the new Avatar, and we both really liked it, but it is too long.
I haven't seen any of the sequels.
Yeah.
I know it's like one of the highest grossing, if not the highest grossing movie of all time, Avatar.
Yeah.
But I always said at the time, I was like...
I think it got knocked off of that by something that I can't remember what it was now.
Re-release of Titanic or something.
No, it was something else, but I can't remember what it was.
But I said at the time, I was like, do you know what my biggest... I was like, it's fine, and visually it's stunning, and obviously it was using all new technology. That's why he wanted to make it like 10 years earlier, but he didn't have the technology, didn't exist to make it.
Yeah.
But I was like, oh, it's a really long time to do Cowboys and Indians. Like, it's like a 3-hour movie where the story could have been told in 90 minutes. I'll say it again. I've said it on this pod 1,000 times. What happened to the 90-minute movie?
Yeah. The problem is, though, I've discovered recently, because there's a director's cut of Avatar that's even longer.
But what? Who's got
But
time?
do you want to get this? There's still about 40 to 50 minutes of cut stuff from the director's cut.
It's just insane. It's insane.
So he made like a 5-hour movie, Jake.
And this coming from the man who actually did enjoy the 4.5-hour Zack Snyder cut of Justice League. However,
I thought that was all right. It was all right.
it was much better
I'd have to
than
rewatch
the
it to
proper one,
remember it.
than the cinema release one. But my God, man, like the audacity of that man to say that a film runs too long.
It is interesting though, talking about Avatar, because there is a theme at the moment of like CGI's got worse. It hasn't. It's just studios don't give filmmakers enough time to do it right.
Yeah, that's
so like
100%.
with Avatar, they're flawless visually, and it's because he takes like 2 years to make the film.
Well, I said like we were watching like they were on TV, the Pirates of the Caribbean movies.
Yeah.
You know the Davy Jones
mate,
CGI.
Yeah.
It's so
Some
good.
of that is actually mechanical as well.
But it holds up today, and I think the reason it holds up today, partly because it was so good, but because, like you said, cinemas are so... They want to do it with... They don't want to hire too many artists. They don't want to... Because it's that thing, isn't it? It's I've always said, like... I'm going to go off on a bit of a tangent here, but I've always said anyone who manages or works high up should have done at least a day or a week in every role in the company.
Yeah.
So kind of understand what happens and why it happens and all that kind of stuff, so that it helps make those decisions. Because for a studio head, it's really easy to look at it and go, well, just get AI to do it. But AI is slop.
Yeah.
It's shit.
Well, and at the moment, you can still spot it more or less a mile away, can't
Yeah.
you? So...
But yeah. So
well,
they want to do it.
With AI, the prompts have to be so specific to get what you're actually looking. If you're doing anything in detail,
yeah, because even then, it'll be like, oh yeah, we've given this guy an extra finger and his shoes are on backwards, or
like
you know
apparently
what I mean?
When AI was first being used, one of the major issues with it took a finger away from every human. It showed it was just some sort of glitch where it could only do 4 fingers.
It learned from The Simpsons.
Yeah.
No, but like I think studios want to do it on the cheap. Like you said, they want to rush it out as quickly as possible, so they just want to...
It feels like a vicious circle, doesn't it? Because there's not enough good movies coming out.
Yeah.
So they're desperately trying to make movies, but losing track.
I also feel like
works.
There's an over-reliance on CG, where I think there's not enough practical effects in movies anymore. Like for me, I said...
Well, the problem is because practical effects are... they're as expensive but take even longer because you have to physically do the thing.
And if you want to do another take, you've got to reset it all and all that kind of stuff. And I get all that, but like I said to you, if I was a director and a filmmaker, and I was able to pitch and do a Bond film, I said I would do it. I'd said it in the 60s. I'd said it in the Cold War.
You're talking about doing Bond?
Yeah.
That's perfect, by the way. I want to talk about Bond quick.
Perfect.
Because I mentioned before that...
Oh, and I do all practical effects. That was my...
Well, they tend to for the Bond films.
Yeah, and that'd be my thing.
But the reason the Broccoli sold it, I found out why. Because basically they kill off... Spoilers. Bond dies at the end of No Time to Die.
What?
And... I personally don't really see why they were struggling with this, but basically they didn't know what to do. They were like, we've killed Bond. Bond's never been killed before. What are we doing? It's quite simple. Just start again with a new Bond.
Yeah, like, no, I never watched, like, Pearson. I never watched the Brosnan Bond and thought that's the same bloke as Roger Moore. Like,
or Daniel Craig and thought that's the same
or even
bloke.
Happened in the same cinematic universe.
Yeah.
Like,
they're separate.
There was no
stories
connection.
Involving one
no
character.
connection at all.
Yeah, other than the fact the protagonist is James Bond.
It's called James Bond,
and
is an MI5 agent.
He tends to have dark hair, but that's other than that, and he's a man. And
he's a bit chauvinistic.
Yeah.
And he's a bit old school.
Yeah.
That's it.
But
that's all it. Like, I've never ever thought.
Apparently, the reason they sold it was one, they didn't know what to do with it, but the other one is apparently it's like copyrights. Not like in 2035 it becomes public. It's been 100 years.
80 years or
whatever it is. Yeah.
80.
And they basically, and then it's up for grabs for anyone. Anyone can then make a Bond film.
So they thought cash on in it while you can.
Basically,
it's like selling a player in the last year of their contract. Yeah.
And now apparently Amazon are now having the same issue the Broccolis were of like, what the fuck do we do with it before it's available to everyone?
Listen, I'm going to make... Can I do the piece to camera?
Pitch to Amazon.
And anyone who's responsible in Amazon for this, Listen to me.
I'm the assistant
Okay.
director, by the way.
Here's what you do. Bond now, it's been over, it's been done to death, modern Bond and stuff, right? You take it back, you do it 60s, you use modern day cameras, effects, all that kind of stuff, although I'd probably still film on film. I'm undecided.
Are you not risking having to do more CGI if you go period?
No.
Okay, fair enough.
No. You take set pieces and you don't even need to, you just, like, where you can borrow set pieces from other things, like I'd more than, like there's certain parts of London that are already look that way. There's loads of cities all across Europe and the world
that's fine.
that
Don't
are,
get sidetracked. Continue.
Rome hasn't been... Anyway. You take it, you said it in the 60s. You do classic Cold War thriller, right? Double agents and all that kind of stuff. You set it, like I said, in the 60s, you have like the classic cars, just one. Gadgets, yes. But try and make them as real world as possible. If you can't build them, if the production team, the
Do they need to be
props team.
appropriate to the 60s?
Yeah.
Okay.
But like if the props team can't build it and make it happen,
Then don't do it.
then don't do it. Don't make
Yeah,
something
yeah.
for the sake of making it. For example, there's remote control car in the Brosnan one.
I
Cool as
literally
fuck.
was just thinking of the same thing. And I was thinking, don't you dare come for my remote control.
Yeah, like it's cool as fuck, but you
Yeah.
don't need it. Not for this story. You make it grounded, because what did people love about the Daniel Craig ones? They loved how dark and gritty it was and
Yeah.
how grounded it was. It wasn't silly.
I
and
rewatched Casino Royale the other day. It's such a good movie.
So you kind of take the ethos of Casino Royale,
The feel.
but also here's what you do: you don't darken it. It's a colourful period, so you make it colourful.
Mm.
Don't shy away from all those colours. People are wearing bright, vibrant colours. They've got big bouffant hairstyles, mini skirts, all that kind of stuff. But you make it grounded.
Yeah.
You make it real, and then you have, just real practical effects and stuff. That's how you do it. And like, I would happily do a treatment for this film. I would write a film, and
I
then
even heard a really
pitch
good
it.
idea for it, that you do a standalone old Bond movie with Pierce Brosnan.
Yeah.
Bring him back for one film, just genuinely one film of him like older, and it's not the old version of him where he's flying around, he's fighting space lasers and all of that. It's again a more grounded, like him having to use his brain, a little bit taken in the sense of it's an older guy fighting and not a young bloke.
Because then here's my
sort of
thing as
vibe.
well. Once you've established it and done the first one and established the world and established it, then in the second one you can afford to be a bit sillier. You can introduce a few
or not
different
as
elements.
good in the case of Quantum of Solace.
Or a villain that's a bit camper or whatever.
Yeah.
You can do that, but you can't. You have to. The first one has to be.
I do think Silver's my favourite villain from the Craig Bonds, I think.
Yeah.
Like, and the fact he's camp, and like for me, one of the best scenes is the one, it's done in one shot, I believe, where he comes down in the elevator and he's talking to him while he's tied up in the chair, and then he starts like touching him up, and he's like, "Your training didn't teach you how to deal with this, did it?" And he's like, "What makes you think this is my first time?" And you're like, "Oh yeah, I'm loving this." It's when
Yeah.
two actors are like, they're feeling it. Do you know what I mean? I love it.
Yeah. That's Amazon. That's my pitch. I'm
Yeah, look.
happy to. If you want to reach out, crossingswords19@gmail.com. Send us an email, and I'll put together
You'll
a treatment.
consider it.
I'll put together a treatment. No, what consider? I'll put together a
Do you
treatment.
know
and
what
I'll
you
send
should
you
do?
my plan
This
for the
got
film.
Christopher Columbus the job for Harry Potter. He sent them how he would do it. He did the work first because he was like, no one does that in Hollywood. You don't write a script, you don't do a screenplay, you don't do any of that. You wait till you get the job and then you do it. He said for Harry Potter, I was like, to be ahead of everyone, I'm going to write a screenplay, have it ready and be like, look, this is how I do it. And that's what got him.
Maybe I will. Like, if I get bored, I will write a Bond script.
Write a Bond script, yeah, and send it in.
We still need to listen. I'm still committed to doing the Bond audition.
Oh, Jesus, I forgot about
I'm
that.
still committed to doing it in one episode.
I need to work on my acting before I do that.
Oh, listen.
I need, or at least, at the very least, like decide how I want to play it
Yeah.
and practice with that a little bit.
Just play around with it.
yeah.
Get the camera and
Because
just.
if I try and just show up and read the script and do it, I'm going to laugh my ass off the entire time, and it's just not going to work.
I mean, there's still room for that, but
Obviously, we want it to be entertaining, but like otherwise, it's just going to be shit. Do you know what I mean?
I'm here for it.
And I don't want to be overshadowed by your good self.
Would it help if I promised you won't be?
I reckon you could.
I'll give it a go. I want to give it a go.
Dashing Bond. I reckon
I
you
don't
could
think
voice
anyone's-
Bond in an animated show.
I was going to say, I don't think anyone's hired a Bond that's under like 5'5".
You're the animated Bond. Do you know what I mean? I mean, that's not even true. They've made a game and they've used some really good-looking, tall, like muscly dude.
And it doesn't need to be, does it? For a voice thing, it doesn't need to be.
Well, no, but I think it's motion capture the way they've done it. So they did need it to be someone who looked potentially James Bond. But if we did a cartoony version, then absolutely.
Maybe we should do that. Maybe we should pitch ourselves an audition, the audition from the thing that they all did for the Casino Royale auditions.
Yeah.
And then we do our own cartoon voice audition.
It's funny, I was listening to someone talk about that and they were like, Henry Cavill couldn't have done any better in his audition. And reading that Casino Royale scene, they said, but just unfortunately for him, Daniel Craig exists.
That's the thing. Like when you see Craig doing it, you're like, fucking had no chance.
Yeah, because they were like, and we were like, we found him. Like that's James Bond. That's exactly who we want. And then they said Daniel Craig walked in and did it, and we were like, is what it is.
Craig was Bond. He was phenomenal.
Yeah. And there was so much hate over that as well, wasn't there? At the time, like they were like, he doesn't
blue
look
eyes, blonde hair,
like
and all that.
And as soon as he walks out of that ocean, everyone forgot about
But the
it.
charisma he uses, the
he has presence.
presence.
And he's striking looking as well. Like he's a good looking bloke, but he's striking. Do you know what I mean? Like he would not necessarily traditionally handsome, but.
And I would have loved. I mean, talking about my 60s, but I would have loved to have seen him play a 60s
he could
era
absolutely
Bond.
done a period one. Yeah, for sure. But yeah.
Have you got anything more fun to do, like, or not just light?
I did. Have
anything?
you seen the trend on TikTok of when you take a photo and TikTok will pick the music for you that it wants to put over it?
I have not.
Like, it's funny. Like, you'll get really random stuff. So I tried to do it to see just if it was real, let alone anything else. And do you know what sound it picked for me?
Oh, George Michael, YMCA.
No. It wasn't a song. It was just a sound bite of like a silly voice, and it was in the style of Bane. And I'm going to try and do it now.
Okay.
And it said, what was it? It was, you were merely touched by the tism. I was molested by it. And I was like, motherfucker.
You got roasted.
Absolutely.
You got done dirty by TikTok.
Lindsay did it. Our friend Lindsay, no one on the pod's listening to the pod's going to know what she looks like unless they know her. But hers was just, I'm fat and tired.
Wow. She got done dirty.
Yeah. But she posted it.
You're
she
more
obviously did mine.
I'm more than happy for you to post a picture of me and see what happens.
Should I do it quickly?
It'll probably say something like,
I'm good.
I'm sexy and I know it.
Have to close
Shall I turn this down till you find it?
So this is what happens when you...
I'll turn that down till you find it. I'll turn that down. You tell me when you found it.
Right, I'm spinning it. Well, I have found it, so if you want to turn it up now, because it will play the song once I've taken a photo.
My mama said I can be anything I want to be when I grow up. So I became a professional retard. My mama said I can be...
That couldn't have gone any better.
Fuck TikTok.
Oh, mate, is that the clip?
Okay, I'm going to do another piece to camera. I've done Amazon. What is it? Singapore? TikTok? China?
I think
We're saying China?
Yeah, China.
Fuck China. Fuck you all. Wow. Fucking
And
do
TikTok
me like that.
does that on its own, by the way. I didn't click it. I just took the photo.
And of a retard.
Yeah. Never go full retard.
Never go for retard. Think about it. Yeah. Retarded, yes. Smart as shit. Can't they pick? I love
Forrest Gump. Retarded, maybe. Play ping pong like a motherfucker.
When hearts a nation. I genuinely
He's a
love that
Vietnam
film.
War vet.
I love that film.
It's phenomenal.
And the thing is, like, Robert Downey Jr. was perfect.
I was like, if you'd have actually put a black man in that role, it wouldn't have been good. Do you know what I mean?
No, he was perfect. And the whole interaction with, like, what do you mean, you people? What do you mean, you people? Can we all just learn to get along?
I'm sorry, I didn't go HB. Hey, you're about to cross the fucking line. A woman lost a child.
Woman lost a child. I watched recently. I watched the documentary for the mushroom murders just while we're on Australia.
I saw that was on Netflix, and I was like, I already know the story though.
Really
Jake
sad.
told me all
Really
of
sad. Like, yeah, the dude who survived, the pastor, the reverend. Very, very heartwarming.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
But yeah, mad. Her story was just so all over the place.
I can't get over it went full retard. TikTok went full retard.
TikTok went full. Fuck TikTok. Have you got anything fun other than fucking TikTok ripping me in?
Not really, to be honest. I've got sad, or we can talk about Palace or the Traitors.
Shall we do a little bit of... Shall we not do the Traitors yet, because the biggest reveal is going to be...
So do you want to wait till after we know?
Because I feel like we'll talk about it, but by the time this airs, everyone will kind of know what's what.
Yeah, that's a good point,
But what do you, just on quickly, what do you make of being able to play along from the start?
I think it's a good idea, because it keeps it more interesting, because the problem with game shows, or like particularly one like that with a very specific premise, is it could get old quite quickly.
I think the producers of that show are fantastic, the way they've pushed it every year to do something slightly different.
Yeah.
I will say this, I think this is my theory, and I'm going to throw it in there.
Do it.
With like the family tree and stuff, I think no one's in there alone.
Yeah,
I
you
think
said that
I
to
think
me.
everyone in there is connected to someone.
Which would make me really upset, because this was the one we applied for.
And we knew each other.
We knew each other. And like, I think I mentioned you, like I put your name, I was like, he's also applying. I was like, it would be great to go in together. I think it'd be really good TV. So they saw that and went, nah, it's all right.
Fuck these guys.
Yeah, but then that could be, I'm not being, this isn't me being annoyed about it, like a diversity thing, like having two white men both around in their 30s. Do you know what I mean?
Well, there's a lot of white men in their 30s.
There is, but they're not all together.
Or are they?
They
Well,
be.
people have found the post, as you saw, from the personal trailer thing that Ross does from like July 2024, June 2024, a year before before the Traitors is filmed, and it's a picture of him and Ellie.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
sticking with it, we already know about Judy and Roxy. By the way, like, rippers to Judy. One of my favourite moments of the series was when she just went straight into Sam and was like, "You avoiding me?" And he was like, no.
That was so full on. I wouldn't have known what.
I was so here for it. I don't like Sam. That probably helps, but
Yeah. No, he's a knobhead.
But when she was just like, "Yeah,"
The
we'll
thing
see.
is, blokes like him aren't used to being put on their toes, and when they are put on their toes, they're probably used to not having cameras around that they can just be rude back.
No, well, I said to someone the other day, like I think I said it to you as well, but I said to someone the other day, I was like, the problem is, or not the problem, I think with Sam, he's the kind of ego where after 3 or 4 goes, when he's wrong every time, he'll A, tell you why it's not his fault that he's wrong,
Yeah.
and B, get angry or nasty.
Yeah, and he'll be
Like,
like,
it's
well,
just
none
the
of you
ego
brought
thing.
anything to the fucking
Like
table.
he'll
Do
be
you know what I mean?
nasty
Yeah.
because his ego can't handle being wrong.
Like I said to you by text, I just feel like he gives off a bit creepy energy. Do you
Yeah,
know what I mean?
100%.
I'm just not a fan.
100%. I love Ross though. I felt he was done so dirty by Nettie.
Yeah, I mean, that was a very stupid thing to do. Like, I think if me and you had gone in together, we'd have probably agreed beforehand. Like,
But that's the thing, when you just see someone.
yeah.
I wouldn't have said
And
anything.
to be fair,
I don't
they
want-
hadn't. The weird thing is, they hadn't seen each other for 15 years
Yeah.
or something. So, like, that is a weird coincidence.
Great TV.
Because I don't think she was selected because
No,
she knew him.
100%. You'd never
So
mention.
she's, if by your logic, she's also connected to
someone
someone else
else.
in there, which the chances of that. Do you know what I mean?
I think so. Anyway. What was the other one? Palace?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's not going brilliantly, is it?
Well, no, I'm not really that concerned about the results, to be honest, because of how many players are out and stuff like that.
It's weird that we've done business so early on in the transfer
Yeah,
window.
that was
and
odd.
big.
Yeah, 35 mil just, Steve
Immediately
Harris
becomes the
slapping his
record
dick on the
signing.
table. Yeah. He's like, all right, we're not backing you, are we? I'm backing you right now.
Which is so funny when you look
With
at
a
Palace.
BJ.
When you look at Palace's squad and the fact we're in Europe and we won the Cup and the Community Shield and stuff, when you consider that our record signing before Brennan Johnson was Christian Benteke,
Yeah.
who was signed like 10 years ago.
Yeah. Mamadou Sakho was
30
up
million.
there for
Yeah.
26.
Again, like 10 years ago.
Yeah. And
Players,
the other one's Nketiah, who sadly hasn't really worked
but
out.
players who you're talking about 7, 8 years haven't been at the club.
Yeah.
It's mad.
Yeah. And like, it's a shame. I can't remember what game it was the other day. I went to put it on, and when I saw the lineup and then the bench, I was like, "Oh, this ain't gonna end well."
Was it the kids one where we played in the Europe or no?
No, it wasn't the European game. It wasn't the most recent one. It was like the one before. I can't remember who it was against now.
Fulham?
Might have been
Arsenal?
Fulham. But I just remember seeing like everyone on the bench. I didn't recognise the name.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, this
It's
is
tough. It's really tough at the moment.
But then that makes me. It's
and Hughes and Mateta both playing with injuries.
Yeah. And it's the only real criticism I have of Glasner, because other than that, I still think he's the best manager Palace have ever had. But that he had players like Raksaki and Esse and just wrote them off. And actually, in a season where we knew we were going to get here, we could have had players like that, and it would have been a good season to actually try and develop them at a higher level. Because instead, Esse's going to go play for Coventry, apparently. And he's probably going to get a lot of football, do well, but that's not Premier League minutes. That's not European minutes. Do you know what I mean? So, and another one of our young players, I think we sent them out to Turkey, and it's gone horrendously, and now they're going to come back.
It's a tough game to play.
Yeah,
it is a tough one to play.
And I get it, because he has a very specific system, a very specific way he likes to play. So if he thinks a player doesn't fit that mould, it just appears they're done to him.
Yeah, he wants his players doing
Hamada, he's a player that's just never featured. Now, surely he could have been used somewhere, but according to...
Well, he's got a very... He wants his players doing very specific things when the team's on the ball, and he wants them doing very specific things when they're off the ball.
Yeah.
In terms of the shape, the press, the play, the runs they're making, it's all quite...
And apparently Glasner's the reason we signed Adam Wharton, because we knew we were looking to bring him in, and Adam Wharton was the player out of everyone that would facilitate the football he wants to play, the quick pass.
I mean, what a player. Do you know the funny thing, after Leeds, and when we got battered, unfortunately, and we were walking away and talking to some of the Leeds fans, and they were like, what a player he is. He played really well. And I was like, he actually
isn't even him.
I was like, he played shit today. Yeah. But the standard that he set himself is that...
I think I watched some of the Arsenal game, and it was one of the first times I ever saw him just give away the ball.
Yeah,
and
100%.
And I was like... And that's why it was noticeable to me, because he doesn't give the ball away. And I was like, he looked just fucked, to be honest.
His own standard and ability and the ceiling that he's got for himself is that even when he has a bit of a shit game, he's still an attractive prospect to lots of other clubs.
Yeah. Most of the time when I watch Palace, he's probably the player I watch the most when we're playing, because I just find him...
He's so good.
And it's not... And it's going to sound like I'm rimming him, but he just...
Please, listen.
I enjoy watching him as much as I used to enjoy watching a player like Pirlo, for example. Now, they are different. Pirlo was far more, I would say, aggressive in his passing, but in terms of the fluidness of it, the ease on the ball...
Yeah, the awareness.
The ability to be completely press resistant. That's the bit I always find really impressive.
Yeah, the thing I loved most about him that stood out to me, first of all, before you notice all the other stuff and before you really go to appreciate him, and it is definitely because it was at Palace and because what we got used to, particularly under the likes of Roy, was the first thing he did was look forward.
Yeah,
and it's we just haven't had a player players like that are quite rare, but we haven't had a player like that for years.
And he's genuinely happy to take the ball in any position.
Yeah.
And he's confident he'll be able to do something with it. And most of the time, he does.
And there's some times as well where he's just on a different level to the rest of the team. He'll play certain through balls and it'll be the first touch or the second touch.
Yeah.
And the problem is he's ahead of the runner.
Yeah.
And so by the time the runner's reacted to, oh shit, there's a pass on.
Yeah.
The ball's gone.
Yeah.
And maybe that's on him to hold off a little bit. But either way, I'd be no, you've got to, if you're playing with him, just anticipate, run into space, he's going to find you.
Yeah. No, I totally agree. Do you think we're going to do much more business?
Yeah. We've got to.
We need another right back and another centre back, really, because you need to bed them in before.
We've been playing fucking Lerma. I mean, I've got no issues with Lerma playing there, but even he's injured now. But he's not a natural centre back, and it also means that we're the only part of the Palace team that was being rotated, that midfield too, because we had 4 centre midfielders.
It now isn't,
Wharton, Kamada. Yeah, now Kamada's injured and Lerma's at the back and now injured, but it means we actually only have 2, and it means when we're bringing someone like Deveni on to play there, and he's not a centre mid.
Deveni's a bit of a utility player for us, really, isn't he? He plays on the wide, in the middle.
His best position, I think, is at wing back. I think
Really?
that's where he's most effective.
Okay, fair enough.
And when you watch him for Northern Ireland, that's where he plays.
Okay, fair enough.
But yeah, no. I'll tell you what, while we're on football,
before we do,
sure,
stick to Palace just for a moment. Is Glasner going to stay?
No.
Do you not think? No. I think you're probably right. I'm 80% he's leaving.
I'm 70%.
But there's a good 20% of me that's because there's been rumblings, and apparently he's slightly walked back some of his previous comments.
He has.
But I don't know whether that's just because the form's dipped enough that he's like, I can't be Mr. Billy Big Bollocks when we're not winning games at the moment. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I think he knows that if he said to Steve Parish tomorrow, same terms, 3 years, Steve is probably going to go, I'm right, and like give him.
Well,
the
he's
deal.
going to look. He's going to want more money if he stays.
Yeah,
he's
yeah.
now coming. He's no longer coming at it as he's now won.
Because
us
you know he was out
trophies.
of work for a year before he came to Palace.
After Frankfurt.
Yeah, for a good year. And I didn't realise before Frankfurt he got Wolfsburg into the Champions League as well.
Yeah.
So he's like, why we
The pedigree
were
is huge.
why we were the first team after that to be like, yeah, we'll have.
But I think with him, and he's talking about like the transfer budget, and I've said to you before, I
Yeah.
don't understand managers that go to these clubs that
No,
have a
I don't.
reputation and then moan about things being done a certain way because you're like, that was always happening.
I remember when we hired him, I said to you on the pod that my biggest worry was what the first thing I heard about him was that he struggles at a club that doesn't spend money. And we had that discussion then of like, well, that's probably going to be an issue, and it has turned. And I think it's a little bit unfair because I think the club has invested money in the squad. I just perhaps not always that intelligently and could have bought more players. But it's difficult when you're looking for very specific players. You can't just go scattergun it and bring in bodies just for the sake of it.
No, and like we've been guilty of that in the past. There's a number of players that have come in that haven't played or have played one game, and like it's a waste of a wage, it's a waste of a transfer fee.
But I
get
can
that.
see now, because of what just happened the other day with Amorim being sacked, that if they don't appoint someone between now and the end of the season, that
Well, they're waiting to the summer. The rumor is that, oh my God, who's apparently Solskjaer's put himself forward to go back to the end of the season.
we've seen this before.
Ferdinand, by the way, with the most arrogant take I've ever seen anyone have.
What did he say?
Well, because I was listening to I was listening to like Talk Sport, and they were talking to some Man United fans, and they were like, they said to one of them, they said, who's the best manager in the league right now? And he went, Unai Emery. And they went, would he leave to come to United? He went, absolutely not.
No, why would you?
Rio Ferdinand, on the other hand, said, he's like, we should go for Arteta. And they were like, would Arteta leave Arsenal to come to you? He went, absolutely. He said, he knows there's a bigger job, and he knows. And it's like, what the fuck are you on about? He's been building that team for 5 years, and he might actually win something. I know he's won a couple of cups, but he might actually win something.
I think people like Rio Ferdinand, he's so desperate to stay relevant and be popular that he'll just come out with what... Because that's the most... Like, no one thinks that. No one. I don't even think he actually thinks that. I just think he's a twat.
Like, I thought it was very good, because United obviously have been used to being one of the biggest. Like they were saying, like these United fans were talking about it on the radio, and one of them said, like, we were the pinnacle of English football.
Yeah.
They were like, for managers, for players, it was the place you wanted to go and play.
Yeah.
They said,
if you were going to go play in England from abroad,
they said
United was the team.
we've got to accept now. They said that if we want to get back to that, there's a lot of work to do, because right now we're not the pinnacle. So that came off the back of saying, oh, would Emery go? And he was like, no, like we're no longer the top stop.
No.
There's other clubs that. And they were saying, and even Noel Gallagher, who is obviously a City fan and very anti-United, he was like, look, if every team in the league plays full strength, he said United probably finish 7th or 8th. He said, but they're not cracking the top 4, let alone challenging for that league. So he said they can't keep considering themselves title contenders.
Yeah. See, one player I think really holds them back is Bruno Fernandes. Everyone just waxes lyrical about him. I don't see it. Like, I don't think he has the goals. I don't think he has the assists. I don't think he has anywhere near enough contributions for people to say he's as good as he is.
The first player that's gone there, and it's only been a year.
And how long has he been there now? He's been there like 5, 6, 7 years.
First player that's gone there and looked decent is Cunha.
Yeah. But
Like
even he's not lit the world alight.
Most players that go there, it's like you're going to have a dip in form. Cunha hasn't massively had a dip in form from when he was at Wolves.
I reckon if you probably looked at him last season, he had more goals and assists at this point of the season.
Yeah,
than he has for
probably. But when you look at like Mbeumo for Brentford versus United, he's doing okay for United, but it's a dip.
He's probably, again, one of their better players.
Yeah.
But not by... But yeah, if I don't understand why any manager at a decent club would choose to leave to go to
Do you think
Man
it's the United curse, or do you think it's the De Ligt curse?
No, I don't think it's a delete curse because it was going on long.
Do you
before
think he
Delete
can
turned
make
up.
it the whole of his career? Because the thing is, he has a new manager at the start of every season, and literally from when he made his debut to now, and he made his debut in like 2016 or something. So from the start of the 2016-17 season going on, there's been a new manager in charge of whatever club he's been at.
Yeah, I saw that.
Do you think he can make that the whole of his career, or do
Probably
you think
not.
someone will?
Someone will
It's
break
got
that.
quick turnover though. Football managers, there's a big.
Yeah. It depends. Like, he tends to go to big clubs, and they tend to have the biggest turnover. So look, there's a chance, but at some point, it's not going to stay that way.
My favourite sacking of the weekend, by the way,
What?
by far,
Nancy?
Wilfred Nancy.
Yeah. What a name.
8 games. Couldn't win one of it. The first game was this is what I didn't understand, right? When they were like, right, we're going to bring in Nancy and we're going to, thanks Martin, you've done really well. I wouldn't have, like the very next game was the Scottish League Cup final.
Okay.
I wouldn't have made that transition then.
Well, you'd have waited till after the
I'd have waited till
final
after the
and
final. It's like, look, Martin O'Neill got us this far kind of thing. It's like
Yeah,
the team's winning, the team's doing well.
then- Yeah.
We can play around with a couple of league games because let's be honest, there's not too many teams challenging us
Thing is-
Hearts at the moment. But you can get away with a couple of league games.
Yeah.
But it's like not like let's just get through the cup final.
Yeah.
But came in, lost it,
Yeah.
and just lost to Rangers, lost to Hearts.
Thing
Like
is,
it's just losing
how
everywhere.
bad have you got to be as a manager to do badly at Celtic?
Like, yeah,
It's like being the Bayern Munich manager. Do you know what I mean?
yeah.
Like, you shouldn't fail.
Apart from the one year last year or whenever it was, the year before, I don't have a good time where you got to hold your hands up to Xabi Alonso and the job he did at Leverkusen.
Yeah, but that's what makes that special. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, like,
Yeah, so
but
like
you
if-
wouldn't be disappointed as the manager. You would be, but you wouldn't be
Yeah.
too disappointed because you like he went unbeaten.
Like, if
That's
in
an
2 or
incredible-
3 years' time, the way Tony Bloom's running Hearts continues the way it is, I'd be less surprised if someone doesn't do as well at Celtic. But up till now, Celtic is so vastly ahead of every Scottish team in terms of resources.
Lots of issues at the board though at the moment. Lots of stuff going on. Apparently there was board meetings where it got very heated and borderline physical.
Yeah,
So there's
yeah.
like a lot of backroom issues going. I'm not trying to defend
I think
Wilfred
that's
Nancy in his
where-
record, but
I think that's where things fall down at United, to be honest. And to be honest, the person I would actually blame for why United are still shit, and it's not entirely their fault, is Alex Ferguson. And the reason I say that is because
his influence is still felt.
not necessarily that, but when he did run the club, so like nothing happened without Sir Alex's say so. He decided to walk away, but didn't tell anyone he was walking away. Whereas what he should have done, if he actually really cared about Man United, was set things up before he left. So bring people in like a year before, and like bring in a director of football, bring in someone who will deal with the scout, like people who think the way he does.
Do you know what I was thinking about this recently? One of the reasons why I think I don't like Man United
What's that?
is because the footballing landscape, media-wise, is dominated by ex-Man United players. And you could argue that's because, what we've just said, it was
They
the
were the
pinnacle
most
to play.
successful
But it's
players.
not, because there's so many other successful players that have played for other clubs that are great media personalities, that
Oh,
are very
for sure.
knowledgeable and insightful.
For sure.
But everywhere you look, it's like, oh, it's Rio Ferdinand. Oh, it's Paul Scholes.
I think you're
oh,
getting
do you know
it,
what I
though,
mean?
'cause
It's everywhere
if
you
you
turn.
notice now, the ex-United legends are sort of peeling away from Sky, and Sky are bringing through other people.
Yeah.
But the problem is the other talented people that aren't the class of 92 are becoming coaches and stuff. They're not just
Yeah.
staying in punditry. So like Liam Rosenior, he was one of the up-and-coming pundits. He goes into coaching. Turns out he's a really fucking good coach.
Yeah.
So that's what's happening, like, and I think that's why you're getting stuck with the class of 92 and their mates, because
They're happy to pundit.
those ones have earned so much money that most of them haven't gone into coaching.
But it's
Or if they have, it didn't last long and they've moved on and stuck to punditry.
But it's so annoying. It's just everywhere you turn, it's one of them. It's Roy Keane. It's Gary Neville. You know, the two of the flagship pundits on any channel, ITV, Sky, whatever. They all do a bit of everywhere. I just can't stand it. It's like we need, and it's like the overlap and whatever. Or, is it the overlap where they do with them and Jill Scott and all that?
Yeah, I don't.
And
mind
like, there's
watching
bits of it that are
sometimes.
good.
Yeah,
But don't get me wrong, it's like, as someone, like, I've seen people on TikTok and Instagram and that do jokes, and it's like, do you know what we really need is another podcast telling us what Sir Alex was like as a manager? And I'm sort of with it, it's like, we've heard it to death.
no, I get that.
And if Ian Wright and Jill Scott weren't
think-
on that podcast, it probably would be unfucking bearable. With all due respect, and I like Roy Keane.
I think that's why they bring guests on though, and they bring on a decent.
But then they'll bring on someone like Nicky Butt, or they'll bring. Do you know what I mean? It's still the same shit.
No, but they also bring on people like Ricky Gervais and other people.
And they've started to branch out of football.
Yeah, and they've been doing it for a little while because I haven't watched it for maybe a month or so, but because I got a bit fed up of it after a while for similar reasons to what you're mentioning. But the ones I would enjoy the most were the ones when they brought on someone different. And to be fair, like they brought Rooney on, I think Sir Alex barely got mentioned. It was mainly talking about Rooney's career, his time in management and things like that. And that was interesting to listen to. So, yeah.
But I get it. Like when you're with someone else, you talk about the things that you can relate to with each other and that you know about. And they all know about playing under Sir Alex.
It sells as well, doesn't it? Like people will sit and watch it and they listen to it.
It's been done to death. Just let it go, man.
Also, I think the other thing is the Premier League. I think Sky sticks to like the Premier League era. Like you don't really get many people outside of that featuring heavily.
Well, no, Gary Lineker famously used to joke football did exist before the Premier League, you know.
I think that then means the faces we're seeing are limited to the Premier League era, and the ones that are coming in now are the players that retired in the last like 10 years maybe. So I think obviously the further we get from the class of 92...
It's my other big issue as well, and I know it's because they're the most popular clubs around the world and stuff, and you're trying to get sales and views and stuff, and they've got the most fans globally, domestically. But it's another issue I always have. Like I was listening to a Leeds fan phone in the other day to 5 Live, I think it was. I have a variety of talk shows I listen to. Talk radio is the new thing. And he was like, what really pissed him off was he said, we beat Chelsea and it was all about how bad Chelsea were. He said, we drew with United and Liverpool and it was about Mo Salah and how bad United were. He's like, we drew with... they also got another last bit,
isn't it?
Yeah,
it's always
and
about
it's like
the
welcome
good team
to
was bad, not the bad
and they'll go
team was
right.
good.
Welcome to Fulham versus Brentford, West London derby. Both teams with mixed results this season, but definitely capable of a thing. And we're going to start by talking about why are Man United so bad at the moment. And it's like, fuck off. Can you not just talk about the two teams?
I always felt the same when I used to watch Match of the Day, and I know if you listen to Gary
100%.
He'll say that, whoever's last, but it always
they
felt
got more talking time as well.
Well, that exactly. When Palace were the number one team, which was incredibly fucking rare, it was only because we happened to be playing a big team and we shocked and beat them or something. And even then, I remember times when that would happen and we'd still be like the second or third to last on the running order. But again, as you said, as it starts, we get maybe 5 minutes of coverage and then they fuck off to something else. And I think the problem that actually is a lot of the people at the top of punditry don't have a breadth of
they're not as insightful
enough.
It's not like,
to be able to talk articulately about Palace, Leeds.
When Ian Wright goes and does the women's games, he knows them.
Oh yeah, you can tell he knows what he's talking about. Whereas like if I went and did punditry for women's
you'd be talking about why Man United are so bad.
Just talk about Ruben Amorim, guys. Like, why have they sacked him? He was doing superb.
No, I get it, and it's why certain pundits that cover like championship games and League One games and stuff, it's like
you can tell you don't live this.
Either they know it or they don't, and it comes across really clearly.
And that should be who's doing the punditry. It should be someone who they live what they're talking about. And I would far rather, if I turned on Leeds Brentford, that when I turn it on, that they've got 2 ex-players, one from each team.
It's why
that knows the club, knows the players, knows what they're talking about.
It's also why, as a general rule of thumb, I prefer journalists as pundits than ex-players, because they actually do the research. Yeah,
they just know more.
Yeah.
Like Nicky Bandini knows more about Italian football.
Oh, 100%. If there's if something's happening in Italian football,
I would listen to Nicky.
I go to Nicky Bandini. If something's happening in French football, I go to that Jules Laurent or whatever his name is.
There's one I listen to.
There's also James Horncastle, super insightful.
Maybe you're saying the same name as me. He's on the Guardian Football Weekly.
The French guy.
I can't remember his name.
I think it's the same guy.
Max Rushton always speaks to him in French when they first start.
No, but like you said there, I wouldn't go to like an ex-player. I'm going to a journalist.
Yeah.
They just know more.
Yeah.
They're more insightful.
Yeah.
They're more knowledgeable. Also, the other thing that journalists have that ex-footballers have to learn, and some of them learn better than others, is the ability to not only have the information and the knowledge, but to present it.
Yeah.
journalists are very good. It's literally their job to take all this knowledge and information and present it in an easy to consume manner.
Yes.
Whereas ex-footballers, sometimes they'll talk about, if they do, they'll start talking about things and you're just like, the fuck you talking about?
Well, yeah, and I think you can tell the footballers that had interests outside of football afterwards
100%.
by, like, how good their vocabulary is. Like, you can tell Wayne Rooney didn't have many interests outside of football.
100%.
Because the guy, like, is not the most intelligent person on the planet. But if you listen to him talk about football, he knows what he's talking about.
Yeah.
And he knows ball. Because do you know who his favourite Premier League striker is?
Shoot.
Jean-Philippe Mateta.
Oh, right, currently. Sorry, I thought you
Yeah.
meant like all time.
I know his
no.
favourite current Premier League striker. He said
Respect.
he's clumsy, but he said he's a bagsman, basically.
Yeah, I
You know what
respect it.
He sees game.
Game, recognised game.
Exactly. So, yeah,
High praise.
that's our football chat.
That is our football chat.
Right, we've got to...
Should we talk about it?
Let's do it.
We've got to.
Venezuela!
No.
The Donald!
It's just a disgrace. I mean, honestly, a disgrace. So, I've tried to compile some notes on it. Oh, fucking headphones are gone. Right, so I tried to compile some notes on it about kind of what happened, the ins and outs, and the reasons. I'm just going to try and cover some of the basics.
Yeah.
So there's already been tensions between America and Venezuela. So America had previously, using drones, bombed several small boats, claiming they were drug smuggling boats.
Yeah, I remember hearing about that and not really
Provided no
thinking-
evidence of it, by the way.
Yeah, just said, yeah, they had drugs.
They were drugs. Once again, this is posed as the war on drugs. And then on the 3rd of January, by the way, Trump is going to his New Year's do, is asked by the press, what's your dream, what's your aim for 2026? And he goes, world peace, world peace. This is the winner of the FIFA
How's
World Peace Prize, by the way.
Where's Ginny Infantino right now?
I mean,
That man's with the fucking leaders of Hamas underground. Do you know what I mean?
see, discussing next year's prize.
He's gone into hiding. I don't think we'll see a World Peace FIFA prize again.
Just discussing for when the Euros, after the next Euros, are hosted in Israel and Netanyahu gets a peace prize.
Today, I feel fucked.
Today I feel fucked. 3rd of January, literally like 3 days later, the US cut power in Caracas, bombed Caracas, and went in.
What
and
a name, by the way, like Caracas.
Caracas, that's probably racist, but and takes Nicolas Maduro and his wife. Now,
What's his wife done? That's rude. Maybe she's just
apparently
there.
she's part of the same. Now, their claims are that Nicolas Maduro is heavy. I'm being that guy, aren't I?
You are. I love
Fuck,
it
I
when you
can't
do
help
it.
it. I'm so sorry.
It puts a smirk on my face.
They said that he's
Maduro.
that all this drug running stuff.
But you didn't say Nicholas that we do it. Nicholas Maduro.
Nicolas Maduro. Nicolas Maduro, yes, is part of. He's like actively heading up this drug running, this drug trafficking thing.
he's
Like
the
he's
kingpin.
ordering it, right?
Yeah.
That's their claims. They also, just to put that into context, and I'm gonna get the name right. I've got it here. The ex-president of Honduras, Juan Orlando Hernandez, who was guilty of drug trafficking,
Yeah.
was given an international pardon last year by none other than Donald Trump. What's the difference between
Fake
Maduro and
news.
Hernandez? Well, Hernandez happens to be a bit of an ally of Donald Trump.
Yeah,
Who
probably said some
would have
nice
thought
things.
it? There's also dodgy shit going on in Argentina, Brazil, all of whom are close allies and supporters of the Donald. Anyway, so they take him and his partner back to the country. They say fentanyl is the biggest killer, and it is the biggest killer in America in terms of drugs. But like most experts, international experts
So
agree
it comes
that
from Mexico.
well, yeah, they agree that Venezuela are relatively small time players in the drugs game. Certainly in the South American region, you're looking at Colombia and Mexico being the big pushers and peddlers of
particularly
anything.
Mexico.
They post pictures of him on the plane.
Which is actually against, is it the Geneva Convention, like humiliation?
Well, here's the thing, yeah. So
prisoners
it's
of war?
against the international law and the Geneva Convention. It's also if they're charged, because they're charging him on U.S. domestic charges.
It's against US law.
It's against US law, so it doesn't matter which way around that is.
The video
that's
the
illegal.
White House posted was wild, by the way,
Yeah,
wasn't
and
it?
that fuck around, find out,
Yeah,
saying all this
yeah.
shit. But just to kind of put some anti-Maduro stuff out there,
Oh, look, yeah.
there are a lot of claims around his legitimacy of the 2024
I mean,
election.
he lost
so
that
just
election.
to be clear,
It's widely accepted he lost that
he
election.
claims that he won it by 52%, with 50% the vote. Volunteers went through and did recounts and stuff, and they actually found that it was he lost by like 80%.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
not only that, but he...
To Machado? Was it
Yeah,
to Machado?
they moved polling stations at the last minute. They made it really difficult for Venezuelans living outside of Venezuela to vote. Yeah, like it's dodgy as shit. I'm not saying he's not without his dodgy.
Very House of Cards. If you know, you know.
Now, they're saying like, oh, it's a regime change. You know, we're going to bring about peace. And they've actually just appointed his underling.
Yeah.
And the reason being, because, and I've got to find the name, because the opposition leader, who was
Machado.
Maria Corina Machado, she received the Peace Prize, the Nobel Peace Prize.
Despite apparently being an Israel supporter, which is interesting.
Well, Infantino showed us that's not an issue. Like,
Yeah,
that's not
true.
Peace Prize. It's just... So she received the Peace Prize in 2025, and Donald Trump, according to an article by the Washington Post,
Yeah, from a claim from a White House
from a
source.
White House source, said that Donald Trump had said if she'd have turned it down and said, "Oh no, you should give it to Donald," she'd
now
be in
be the
charge
leader
of
of
Venezuela.
It's fucking
How
insane.
petty and stupid is that? Again, yeah. So, just to be clear, Trump's also talked about making threats against Cuba, Colombia, and Greenland, in which the Danish PM had to
Yeah.
put out a statement saying, "We don't want you. The people of Greenland have already spoken. They don't want you. Also, we're all part of NATO, so remember we're actually allies here. So maybe don't fuck around and invade, annex."
Yeah. But the problem
your
is
own
Trump
countries.
doesn't respect NATO.
Trump's also quoted as saying this is an attack on sovereignty. And when asked about fixing the democracy and the infrastructure of the country, he said, no, we haven't started on that. We're still focusing on the oil. So let's get to the oil. Venezuela
I did not
have
know
the
this, by the way.
largest oil reserve in the world in terms of financial value.
And
They do not sell. So most oil around the world is sold in US dollars. There's a handful of countries that do not trade in US dollars. Venezuela is one of them.
yeah,
Their biggest ally and their biggest buyer of oil is China. China. There are a few Chinese officials that had landed like the day before,
Yeah.
by the way. To talk
Also, not only are they the largest holders of oil in the world, more than the Saudis, by the way, which when I heard that, I was like,
Saudis are just very good at selling it. Like, be clear.
Yeah, fair enough. But they also have more gold than all the African nations
Yes.
combined. And I heard that and I was like, what? Do you know what I mean?
They've al-
Like,
there's
where
also a
the fuck
number
are they
of-
putting it?
There's also a number of rare mineral deposits that are located around the country that are very valuable.
It's, if you're after resources, Venezuela's one of the places you want.
But are they going to give full autonomy back to Venezuela now they've taken the bad boy out? No. The US are going to run it for now. It is just...
Well, and they've basically said they'll do it again if the woman who stepped up currently doesn't do what the US wants.
Yeah, basically. And I think then Keir Starmer was quite pushed about whether it had broken international law. Lots of journalists were keen for him to answer that. He said, well, let's wait and see how the US justify it. It's up to them to prove.
Yeah,
Like, it's
Darren
bullshit.
Jones was pushing the same.
There's no evidence. Like, it's bollocks.
Do you want to say?
And even if it is, like, if it was, like, there's some pro-Maduro protests and stuff, by the way, going on in the country. It's like, Boris Johnson, in my lifetime, is probably my least liked Prime Minister, and that's saying something because we had an actual war criminal. But
yeah,
Boris
but he
Johnson-
did some good stuff.
Boris Johnson.
he did things that meant someone like Angela Rayner could become deputy PM.
But if
so
another,
he did some genuinely positive shit.
if another country came and took him away, I'd be angry because it's an attack on our sovereignty. Like, he's a dick.
I think I'd
But
be upset,
he's
but not that
ours
he's
to deal
gone.
with.
Yeah. I wouldn't be upset he's gone, but I would. The nationalistics, I can't lie and say that the nationalistic side of me wouldn't be like, you fucking what, mate?
Yeah, no,
You know, if the Scots had come over the border and taken Bojo, I'd have
it's
been
also
like,
the worry. Like,
fucking
look,
kill them all.
it's no coincidence, by the way, that all this is happening while there was meant to be another release of unredacted versions of the Epstein
I didn't
files.
know about that.
It's no coincidence that that's happening. He's trying to seem strong and distract from that and show strength, and he's like,
It's just
whatever
so weird
else.
because if you had nothing to do with Epstein, you'd just release them, wouldn't you?
Well, one would think, but the other big thing for me is that
But also, to be fair, Trump hasn't hidden with this what his motives are, has he? Like,
No,
he's been quite
he's been very
upfront
clear.
about like we're going to take
It's
all
the oil. We're taking the oil and the gold.
for these not quite imagined. He's doing the whole like they're raping the children, they're eating the dogs. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
He's doing that. So like once the damage has been repaid, will
Yeah, and like, let's pun not intended. These are trumped up charges against Maduro.
yeah.
But like, here's the thing: like,
Trying him in an American court's wild as well.
when we
isn't it?
were, yeah, it's all wild.
That's
When we were,
wild.
him and his wife were pled not guilty.
When
by
I
the way,
woke up to it, I was genuinely like, with Trump, it's odd, isn't it? Because you're surprised, but you very quickly go, yeah, fair enough. Like
I think. Oh, well, first of all, I'll say this: like when Americans, do you remember when the election was going on, and you had a lot of Americans moaning, going, "Why is anyone else? It's our country. Why are you bothered about our elections?" Well, this is why, because it has wider implications on the rest of the world. Because the wider implications now are, what leg do we have to stand on if we support Trump in this? By the way, which Tommy Robinson has been very vocal about supporting Trump, and he said, "Come and get Keir."
Fucking hell, man. It's fun.
What leg do we have to stand on against Putin and what he's doing in Ukraine?
Look,
He's going in there because he says Zelensky's a dangerous leader.
The only thing you could argue, if you really wanted to be pernickety about it, is that Trump did it quickly, efficiently, and got it over and done with to a degree.
And now he's running the country.
Yeah. No, but what I mean is where like Putin's
It's a war.
It's a long, drawn out war.
Difference is they were able to fight back. But
Yeah.
what happens now? China have been.
But in truth, there's not many countries that could fight back against.
China have been unofficially going for Taiwan for years and Hong Kong. But like now, if they officially make a move,
What can we do
and
about it?
what actual powers do we have to? What leg do we have to stand on? The wider implications for this are huge.
Well, the thing is, and what it's sort of showing, and in particular, if this goes further, if like what, and the thing is, you can't rule anything out at this
No, because
stage.
he's already said as well. He's like, we're going to eye up other countries in the
and like,
region.
you have to take him at his word for it because he's just done this. Do you know what I mean?
I think a
So
lot.
like, if we see tanks rolling through Greenland, I'm not going to be in the.
I think a
slightest
lot
bit
of
shocked.
international
And also,
norms.
what's Denmark going to do, Jay?
Well, I think a lot
What
of
the
international
fuck is
norms
Denmark gonna
and
do?
laws kind of rely on this unwritten rule of, okay, we won't act if you don't act. Whereas Trump's just calling everyone's bluff.
Also,
Do you know what I mean? Like, he's broken international law, and he's sort of saying to the international community, what are you going to do about it? And they're all like, oh, yeah, nothing. Fair enough, you've called our bluff.
Yeah, because the problem is, like, isn't this where this ends up? Like, the industrial military complex, the rampant capitalism. Eventually, you get so big that you need more than what you can provide for yourselves. So you start having to look around and going, all right, who can we pick off and take what they have? Like, this is where it always ends up. It's like China, that's why they're doing it with like, Russia. They need more than what they can provide.
It's just so a credit to Trump, by the way, for coming, because 2025, he did some horrendous shit and he really fucked the world up.
It was not on my bingo card. That's
Credit for him for coming in and
2026.
being like, I'm gonna do so much worse. You're gonna see. They're gonna say nobody fucked the world as hard as Donald because I'm good at the sex.
And like, what's really important to me out of this, and I don't think this will happen at all, but at some point we have to learn some fucking lessons. Do you know what I mean? Like, at some point we have to realise that being a contrarian for the sake of being, because the left pissed you off, or, you know, because you got judged for saying a she's a he when she's actually a she, or, you know, or because you
can't say coloured anymore.
Yeah, or because a woman turned
For
you
want of a
down
better
and you're not
phrase.
allowed to punch her in the face because of it. Like, at some point
Look,
we have to
just-
fucking grow up.
Some
and,
of
like,
those shouldn't be allowed. Some of those, you know, are fine, I think.
we know which ones you're comfortable with. We'll leave that down to the listener to decide.
You can bleep out all the words I'm about to say. 'Cause let me address these groups. No. But I think that's what it is. I think a lot of them just want to say that word.
Yeah, look, and maybe if the black community in America went, guys, look, just all together now, as one, we'll say it. And we'll cleanse it all and we'll start...
Just get it out of our
Do you know-
system, start from
but
scratch.
At some fucking point, mate, we have to start learning lessons. We're not learning them in this country. We are walking towards a Farage government.
Well, I'm going to
right?
ask you a question regards to the Trump thing
Yeah.
and Venezuela and us. Is Keir Starmer being weak or diplomatic?
He's being both. Like, he's being weak, but what the fuck do you want him to... Like, I've really tried to think about this.
I have the same thoughts.
Everyone on the left, including Zach Polanski, who I'm a massive fan of, and he's doing what's sensible, to be honest, as the head of the left at the moment, so to speak. He's being the head of the left and going, no, we should be condemning Trump, we should be doing this. In an ideal world, yes, we should. But like, we're not Great Britain anymore. Like, we're not the empire. We're not powerful. Even if we wanted to threaten the USA with nukes, can't do that because they own our nukes.
Yeah, we're gonna
rent them from them.
We're gonna nuke you. P.S. Would it be alright if we use some of the nukes?
Yeah, it's fucking mental, mate.
But
like, we don't have a
I don't want to make everything
army. We don't have a significant naval force.
I don't want to make everything about Brexit either. But since Brexit, we don't have the same economic bloc to rely on. So again, we need to be.
And the problem is,
we need to keep the USA in play.
Trump's like. What happens if Keir Starmer goes, Trump's a scumbag and I'm not happy about what he's doing?
We become the next target, yeah.
We're either the next target or the best case scenario is we get slapped with a shitload of tariffs that make our lives even worse. So, like, yeah, would I like a situation where our Prime Minister did what Hugh Grant did and got up on the podium and talked about David Beckham and Harry Potter and told Trump to go fuck himself? That would be lovely. But we don't live in a Richard Curtis film.
No, maybe Trump needs to grab Starmer's wife's pussy and that would egg him on.
But what I would respect a lot more, and this is how I would personally do it if I was Keir Starmer, is I'd go out there and be like, look, no, I'm not happy about what he's doing, but I need to, like, what do you want me to do? Like, and I'd be honest, like, this is how much of an army we have. This is how many ships we have. Like,
but you can't.
What do you want us to do?
Even though we all know
my nukes are owned by the guy you want me to call a cunt.
Even though we all know that, you can't publicly say that. No, I think look too weak, and it lets everyone know.
Can't do
it makes everyone know officially our weakness.
Unraveling all sorts of shit. But that's what I'd want to do if I was in government. I'm not as interested in Keir Starmer as holding it all together. But yeah, like if. Having Darren Jones do the rounds and just go, we need to wait and see until the Americans tell us what lawful reasons they had to do this. It's like, there's no lawful reason. Like, yes, he was a dictator and a despot and a violent man, and yes, he probably did run drugs. But does that mean Trump can just walk into Venezuela and take him, his missus, and take the country? No, it doesn't.
Where does it end?
Well, potentially it doesn't.
Where does it end?
Technically it doesn't. Look, we're just going to have to enjoy living under our American overlords. I mean, that'll be ironic, considering how.
And I, for one, welcome our American overlords.
100%. Trump's not that bad. Do you know what I mean?
We love the. I've got to say this now in case I want to go on holiday to America. We love the Donald. We love the Donald. Donald's so good, and
just and also
he's got massive hands.
If China turns out to win, I love my Chinese overlords.
Ni hao.
And if somehow, and I think this is unlikely, Vladimir manages to do it, you know, God bless Mother Russia.
I've always been a fan of the Russian space program. If that helps.
Yeah. One of my favourite characters in Armageddon was the Russian astronaut. So look, I'm on board.
And the Russian dude in Stranger Things was just top.
Look, the Russians are just good comic relief in most stuff you see them in because they're so dry and serious and stupid.
Just this little clip the other day of a bloke, not a Russian thing, where he was like, a comedian was talking about the fact that he was in Iron Man, the first Iron Man. He was like, I played one of the terrorists, and he was like, you know, the guy who finds the mask in the desert and holds it up. And he was like, I said to my agent, he was like, I'm not doing that. He's like, just stereotypes. I've already told you I'm not doing that role. And then they were like, look, it's like a 2-week shoot and they want to pay you 50 grand. And he went, oh, he's like, yeah, motherfucker, I'll do that shit all day long.
Yeah, we all have principles.
That's what it's like for the Russians. They're like, I'm not doing any more. I'm not just going to play the bad guy anymore. And they're like, look, it's like 5 million. They're like, you know what, maybe it's okay. Maybe that's fine.
I'll be cast typed for 5 million. Yeah, but look, it's terrifying. And yeah, in an ideal world, we'd stand up to Trump, but we're not in a position to stand up. What do you think?
I think a lot of the international community and the balance of the international world, I know it kind of ebbs and flows a little bit, but the peace and the stability of the last 80 years, I think largely depends on no one doing anything.
Yeah.
So it's like, look, you know, this whole threat of we've got nukes, you've got nukes, they've got nukes. It's like, look, should we all just not do anything because of the nuclear threat? And it's really easy as a get out. But Trump's literally just spent the last, and he did it kind of in his first term, he literally spent the last year just calling everyone's bluff. And everyone's kind of like, well, shit, we don't actually want to do the things we were threatening. Like, we were all here threatening, going, oh, yeah, well, if you do this, we'll do this. And if you do that, we'll do that. But none of us actually want to do it. So now he's pushed that, and we're like,
And the problem
maybe we should just, maybe we should see what his excuse, what his justification.
What the legal justification
because I believe in the rule of law, and I believe there is a legal justice. It's like, yeah, fair enough. it's like you said, what will Denmark seem pretty strong in their message.
But
what will they do?
What the fuck are Denmark going to do if the USA roll up with their fleet and shit? They're just going to be like, all right, fair enough.
I imagine Trump will probably, no pun intended, pull out after not very long. They're going like, we were lied, it wasn't green. Okay, we were told it was green. Let's call it Greenland. Tell you what, they should call it White Land.
Yeah. I'm guessing it's basically, again, Greenland's got oil and resources, and also it's strategically helpful in terms of the position towards Europe and stuff like that. So I get that's why they want it. But, like, one of their officials actually went on television, I think it was yesterday, and was like, what sovereign right does Denmark have to have it? It's ours. And, like, literally just said that, and I'm... Well, it's obviously going to... Like, that's the thing. I think they will take Greenland.
He said that in, like, minute one of his time.
And I thought it was a joke. I was like, it's just Donald, isn't it? It's like, I like the idea of having Greenland. It's like, yeah, I like the idea of seeing Sydney Sweeney naked. I know how likely it is.
Oh, man, have I got a website for you?
But Donald, like, I would say it's odds on. Is odds on fair?
Well, like at the time, it was like one of those things where it's like he says so much wild shit, he's never going to act on any of it. But now he is following through on some of it.
He took Venezuela.
Following through on a lot of it.
If someone said to me, "Do you reckon he'd take the rest of? Is it South America, North America? I always get them two mixed up.
South.
Is he going to take the rest of South America? Probably, if he wants to.
Well,
and what are any of them going to do?
Here's the funny thing.
The only one he genuinely struggled with, and it's because genuinely the cartels in Mexico have like their own private armies over there. They're like armed to the teeth. Mexico would genuinely be the hardest one to do. But like if any country, if he wanted to take us,
so like if
I've
you
got
look
your
at
nukes.
If you look at a list as well of like,
if there was ever a time to argue against Project Trident, it's now. By the way, that like. What use are they in a world where America could potentially do whatever the fuck they like, include take our nukes away from us? Why are we paying for them?
Yeah, I would agree with that.
Do you know what I mean? Like,
when the biggest, it's all well and good having nukes, but when the biggest threat is the person who owns the nukes, it's not really. It makes me think of the Norm Macdonald joke when he was doing the OJ Simpson trial, and he went hard on OJ Simpson through like his whole run on Saturday Night Live, and he said OJ Simpson said that he would quote take a bullet for Nicole Brown or whatever her name is, and he went, boy, I got to tell you, what are the odds of that when the one guy who would take a bullet for you was the guy holding the gun? He says, boy, I got to tell you, that's unlucky. And it makes you think of that. It's like, wow, what are the odds that...
This whole situation just makes me think of Robert Downey Jr. in the first Iron Man film, where he was like, it's about being the guy with the bigger stick. Do you know what I mean? That's sadly, America are the biggest stick. You know, their entire economy...
They've got the biggest dick.
...runs off
running the country.
...military action. And, like, this is...
And stupidity. Like, do you know what? There's a great joke as well. It's a Soviet joke that says... And I think it's as relevant today as it was back in the Cold War era. It was a Russian talking to an American, and the Soviet guy says, oh, man, he says... I got to tell you, he says, I thought our propaganda was good. He says, but boy, your guys' propaganda is something special. And the American went, we don't have propaganda. And I think that's as relevant as it is today, because it's like,
no, they believe in all of it.
Keep them dumb and uneducated and ill-informed, so that they will go around going, oh yeah, trans people are raping our kids and ruining sport.
Jonathan Wass.
And vaccines cause autism.
Yeah. That was paracetamol, wasn't it?
A paracetamol fucks up pregnancy, rather than actually looking at it and going, I don't know if we should be fucking around in Venezuela. Also, like, there's a list of like the biggest oil contributors in the world market, and every single one that's not aligned themselves to the US, like allied themselves to the US and made good deals with the US. The US has bombed at some point in the last 50 years. And it's like in the 1990s, like late 80s, early 90s, America went and bombed Iraq for the oil. Yeah. Famously in like the 2000s, they went to Afghanistan and bombed Afghanistan for the oil. Now here we are, they're bombing Venezuela for the oil. It just never ends. Yeah. If a country's got oil...
Well, they sort of learn. The one thing I'd give them credit for is it's quite a sophisticated thing to do, isn't it? To just rock up at someone's turf and go, yeah, we're taking your head of state. There's nothing you can do about it. And then it's it.
Yeah.
And we're out. And apparently there was no American loss of life. Like that,
there wasn't.
That's quite impressive.
Of course there wasn't.
Yeah.
But remember, no matter how many people die in the upcoming conflict, it's all to make the shareholders happy. Although I must admit, I did invest. It was only like a $5, so I've only got like 0.05 of a share.
In blood money?
I invested in Exxon Oil Company.
No.
So I think the company's about to shoot up. I genuinely believe in the next
Fucking hell.
month it's going to
God,
rocket.
I hadn't even thought of that.
The first thing I did, if I had more money, I'd put it in
woke up
Chevron
and
as
went,
well.
"Oh, I'm investing in oil."
So I was like, US oil companies are about to get very rich.
And it's funny, the first time I heard about Venezuela's situation in terms of their oil and their gold was a clip suddenly surfaced from Jack Ryan, the TV show.
Okay, yeah.
With
Is
John,
it John
Krasinski,
Krasinski?
talking about Venezuela.
Who's the biggest threat? Yeah.
Yeah. And I was like, oh, fuck, is this true? And then I looked it up and yeah, it was
But
everywhere.
look, at the end of the day, I'm not being funny, right? The Venezuelan people are going to die. Okay? The country's fucked.
Well, to be
Whether-
honest with you, it depends on. Look, this is a horrific thing to say, how much they resist, isn't it? Because I don't think the US are going in to murder Venezuela.
My point is, what I do here doesn't matter. Why shouldn't I get rich off it? Why shouldn't I profit off it?
That's sort of the whole idea of boycotting the companies that deal with Israel, though, isn't it? Like, we're like,
Well, yeah, but none of them are going to make me money. These are going to make me money.
wow.
Look, I'm not like, look, I thought it was quite entrepreneurial of me.
I mean, yeah, look, it is. It's. I mean, actually, if you'd have fiver's not really going to get you there. to be
No,
honest.
honestly, I'd have liked to have put like $1,000 in or
Yeah,
something
yeah.
because I genuinely think it could
That would be quite
go up
dirty, but
anywhere
I'd
from
have-
50 to 100% in the next
Yeah,
couple of
yeah.
months.
Yeah, fair enough.
I think I'm going to see some return on that.
Yeah, look, we're
Not a lot, but
we're in Donald Trump's world at the moment.
I literally had because I've made
Don's the daddy.
because I've got a Trading 212 account and I've had it for years, but I've done very well on it. So like I've only
Yeah.
ever put in 60 quid, but I'm currently up to 114.
Nice.
So I've got money to play around with,
Yeah.
and I thought I've invested a lot of it over the years. As I make a bit, I invest a bit.
Yeah.
So I was like, I had like literally like £5 left.
She was
That
like,
was free money in the
oil,
account.
baby.
American oil. It
Yeah.
just the natural thing. It just occurred to me. It was like one night I was like, do you know who's about to make a lot of money?
Oil.
The American oil companies. Listen,
enough.
get on it. I'm not saying this isn't even inside. Oh, by the way, insider trading. Apparently, there's like a company that do bets on world events,
Right.
and apparently, a lot of Donald Trump's inner circle put thousands of dollars on Venezuela's
did, mate.
president, of like the collapse of the Venezuelan
yeah.
country. They're like, bro.
And what? If they're Donald Trump's mates, are you going to say no? You can't have your money. You'll just invade
Thing
wherever
is,
you are.
Insider trading happens all the time, but it usually happens behind closed doors.
Yeah.
But we're living in an era where the doors are wide open, and the rich are going,
seeing
"We're
by
fucking
how
you."
brazen this has been.
So brazen.
That, and I actually sort of appreciate that to a degree because
Now, what you can do?
we're not sitting here having a conversation about.
Conspiracy.
Yeah, we know what's happening.
They're telling
He's
us.
telling us
They're
what's
directly
happening,
telling you.
and there's nothing any of us can do about it. And as indignant as Zach Polanski and the left would like to get, and I understand it, I feel the same. But the realist in me goes, what the fuck is Keir Starmer going to do about it? And the answer is fuck all.
But there's nothing we can do about it. I'm just saying, get yourself a share company. Get yourself like one of the apps that does shares. Exxon and
Free trade, any of
Chevron.
them.
They're the two big oil companies in America, Exxon and Chevron.
Do you know what?
Something tells
You've
me
got
they're
me
about to
thinking
profit
about it
big.
now.
I think Exxon's going for like $127 a share, and
wow.
Chevron's going for about $148 a share at the moment.
I'll have to get on
But
one of
look,
those ones where you can buy a percentage of a share. Do you know what I mean?
Trade in 212.
All right, I'll have to make
That's
an
what I've
account.
done. I bought like 0.0.5.
I think I might actually, because do you
percent.
know what? Fuck it. Why not? Put 50 quid on it, see what happens.
Let it ride, baby. I think it's going to happen. I truly.
Well,
listen,
and if he starts invading other countries for their oil, it's going to go even higher.
I'm going to be. You know when they say like, you get more right wing as you get older. I'm now in a position where I would benefit from the US invading the Middle East. I'm there now. I'm financially invested. I get it.
It's just sad, isn't it? This is where we've ended up. 2026. We're on the right wing grift.
We're on the. This is my chance. Listen, you wait till a couple of months from now when
Drill, baby, drill.
I announce I found God, and then you wait for the accusations to come out.
Farage is my Führer.
Oh my God.
But anyway, that's all we got time for, folks. Let us know what you think. Let us know whether you agree. Should Keir Starmer do more? What do you think he should do?
Yeah, what should he have said?
I'd love to fucking know what you think he should do. Genuinely, I'd love to know what the answer to that question is. So yeah, let us know what you think. We miss you guys. We'll see you soon. And thank you for listening. And do you want me to do the socials?
Yeah, you're quicker. Hello.
You can find us on Facebook at Crossing Swords, Twitter at Swords Crossing, on Instagram at TikTok at Crossing Swords _podcast, and you can email us at crossingswords19@gmail.com.
Mama like that. Mama like that.
See you later.
Hasta la vista, baby. Thank you.